G'day there guys, Connor here again, and we're back with some more stories from Reddit. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and also the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Alrighty, let's get right into it. Okay, we're on Am I the A-hole? This one was written by user Communication Fit, and it's titled, Am I in the wrong for not wanting to get back with my ex because my brother said so? Hey everyone, I'm really trying to make sense of the absolute movie I've been thrown in. For context, I'm 20 and I was dating my ex-boyfriend, 21, for 2 years. My ex is my brother's best friend from childhood, so I basically grew up with him. I always had a crush on him, but only did something about it after high school when we started dating. He was my world. We were perfect. There wasn't a day he wasn't by my side. I really loved him. 2 weeks ago, I found out he cheated on me with a girl at a party. He came to me immediately afterwards crying and asking me for forgiveness. I shattered, literally shattered like glass. I didn't even respond. I grabbed my keys and left him in my own house. My brother called me a few hours later saying he heard what happened and tried to comfort me. We talked for a while and I told him that I'm breaking up with him. He said that wasn't a good idea. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Not a good idea that I break up with a guy who cheated on me? He complained that my ex was his best friend and he would be really bummed if I broke up with him. Like what? I told him I really didn't care. I didn't even think he'd still want to be friends with him after finding out he cheated on his sister. Anyway, I'm not getting back together with him. Don't get me wrong, I loved him a lot, but he cheated on me, and that's a level of disrespect I will never tolerate. My brother and I are not on speaking terms, and my mum is kind of on his side. She said that he's just defending his friend, but I'm literally his sister. There's a lot more that went on in between, but I don't want to make this post too long. Let me know if you want me to go into more detail. Am I the a-hole? What? No way. This is cut and dry as hell. She doesn't owe him anything. Honestly, respect to her for standing by her morals. Let's go to the comments. So, who's your brother cheated on? You know, kind stays with kind. She says, you're not wrong, but honestly my brother has never been able to keep a talking stage, much less a girlfriend. However, if he does end up cheating on someone, I won't be surprised. Not the a-hole. Because of brother's actions, now he gets to share the a-hole award your ex already gets. You are 100% in the right, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Honestly, your brother's actions are worse than your ex's in my opinion. As a brother myself with a younger sister, that is a sacred bond he broke. I'm so sorry you're dealing with this. I seriously hope he realizes he messed up and makes things right. Opie says, I agree. The worst part is that this is absolutely not like him. We used to be super protective and all throughout high school he'd threaten to beat up any guy who came near me. I don't know what happened. His friend is known, so you deemed safe? He didn't need to wear the mantle anymore? Playing the stereotype of the in-high school brother? Was it love or obligation? She says, honestly I really did love him. I had a huge teenage girl crush on him all throughout high school, but I was scared it would get complicated or he'd reject me. I'd even write about him in my journal. It was really embarrassing. Was your brother with him at the party? By the way, not the a-hole. On the other hand, your brother is an ass. This is the kind of stuff you remember for the rest of your life. Update me. She replies, he wasn't with him at the party, and quite honestly, I don't think there was a party. I think it was just a scapegoat. Okay, onto an update the next day. Hey again. So some of you wanted me to go into more detail, and some of you had some questions about my brother and how he felt about our relationship at first. I'll start with saying that when I told my brother, who is 22 by the way, I was breaking up with his best friend, he was angry. I mean like really mad. He kept telling me that I was trying to hurt his best friend and have him deal with a bummed out friend and whatnot. Obviously I was taken aback. He then went to go and tell on me to my mum, and my mum called me really upset. She said that I should stop working my brother's nerves and all kinds of nonsense. I told her the full story because obviously my brother didn't. I told her how my ex cheated on me. All she said was, oh, then hung up. Hadn't heard from her since. I won't lie, my mum has always favoured my brother, but I excused it as a boy-mum thing. She's never neglected me or treated me badly before, she's just had an obvious favourite. I've also never been one to do the most for anyone's approval. A few of you had questions about my brother too, like if he was a cheater too, and if he approved of my relationship in the first place. For the first question, my brother is a loser. He's really immature, so naturally girls don't want to spend a lot of time with him. I've told him several times that he should grow up or he'll be single forever. So to answer your question, my brother has never even had the chance to cheat. As for the second question, my brother found it awkward at first, but then he got over it. Plus, me dating his best friend meant he'd practically see him 24/7, so I guess he didn't mind it that much. He just didn't like the PDA and all that stuff. There isn't much to update on. My ex has tried and failed to contact me. All my friends have blocked him and no one is giving him any of my info. He's even tried contacting my boss. My brother is still insisting I talk to my ex. I continue to tell him to leave me alone. My mum is radio silent and honestly it's for the best. Will I get over this? Sure, but it'll take some time. I don't think this is something to get therapy over, but it'll need some healing. Thank you for all your lovely comments and messages. It's comforting to know there are people on my wavelength who understand that cheating is loser behaviour, and tolerance for it is even weirder. Opie comments on being groomed. I don't think I was groomed. I had always had a crush on him. He never really seemed interested in it, much too busy being a boy. Plus, we're only a few months apart. We spend most of the year being the same age, so I don't think so. To be honest, I wouldn't be able to point out whether it was grooming or not, but I don't think so. Do you live alone? I suggest you reach out to your brother and tell him how hurt you are about him putting his best friend above you, his only sister. Let him know you'll be going low contact, and if he still tries to suggest you forget that your ex cheated and to get back with him, you will cut him out of your life. Also, text your ex and tell him to not contact you or your employer, and that if he does it again, you'll report him for harassment. If you live alone, change your locks and then your number. She says, I live in an apartment with a roommate, but I live close to home, so I visit often. I think I'll be limiting those visits too. Thanks for the update. I hope your mother comes around, but I wouldn't hold my breath. She's likely fully on your brother's side, which is a shame considering that would put her on the same side as your cheating ex. Where's your dad in all of this? Still not the a-hole. Screw cheaters and everyone who defends or sides with them. Opie says, thanks for the comment. Unfortunately, my dad passed when I was really young, so he's not in the picture. Another update the next day. Hey again, I contemplated posting this for hours because it's just so much and so little at the same time. Edit, I want to preface this by saying that I'm 1000% not getting back together with anyone. I'd made my decision from the beginning, and they can try all they want, but it's not happening. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who commented and messaged me offering support and advice. It really means a lot to me. I stalk this sub often, so the community means a lot. I spoke to my ex again through text to tell him to leave me alone and stop trying to contact me. I also told him to come get the stuff he left at my apartment. He went on to tell me that he needed to tell me something, that he said he needed to tell me the truth. I did not respond, but he kept texting anyway. He proceeded to tell me that he made everything up, the cheating story and everything. Obviously, I didn't believe him at first, but then he went on. However, you guys need to understand that I really loved this man and have for years, so there's a part of me that wants to take his word for it. Anyway, he told me that he planned the whole thing with my brother, like it was some kind of sick prank. Who does that? He called it a test. A test? For what? He told me to call my brother and tell him to tell me the truth. Keep in mind that all of this happened in a day, by the way, so it was crazy. He went on and on about how much he still loves me and how he wishes he never listened to my brother. I felt physically sick. It felt like whiplash. A few hours later, I called my brother and told him to open up, just to see his reaction and if I'd get a similar story from him. Surprisingly, his story was somewhat similar, except he made it look like he was just going to keep up with the lie rather than being a part of the planning. He also told me that he was urging me to get back with my ex because he knew that nothing really happened and we would have broken up over nothing. I still think that is very stupid. I really don't know what to think. Who is telling the truth? Why did I need to be tested? Why the hell am I still in love with this jerk? A lot of questions and no answers. A few of you had some issues with my mum, and they're all justified. From a young age, I knew she had her favourites, but I'm very likeable, so if I wasn't getting her attention, it really didn't bother me. I know that sounds cocky, but it's the truth. We talked, and she told me that she hadn't known that I was cheated on until I told her, and gave me a curt apology. I also don't know if she's telling the truth. She also told me that she scolded my brother for lying to her and hurting my feelings, as if that was meant to make me feel better. Anyway, our relationship will continue to strain anyway, so I'd rather not focus on that. Some of you asked where my dad is in all of this. Unfortunately, my dad is no longer with us. He passed away 12 years ago, and it still breaks my heart. I was always told that I was the apple of his eye, and his world didn't seem complete until I was born. I carry him with me everywhere I go. I find comfort in the idea that he would have stuck up for me right now. I love him so much, even till this day. I'm currently typing all this very late at night because I've been pondering all day. This has practically consumed my life, and I'm sick of it. It also doesn't help that my town is relatively tiny, and everyone from my graduating class already knows everything. I'm more fed up than I am sad, but I won't let it bother me for too long. But seriously, can whoever is controlling the TV show that is my life give me a break? Thank you all for reading. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not buying the whole prank thing. I reckon it's just something the ex and the brother came up to try and save face. One comment says, "The prank story is a lie that your ex and brother came up with as an excuse to get you back together. Stick to your guns and move on with your life. It will not get better, only worse from here." 100%. Original story says he came to her crying. That's pretty good acting for a prank. Even if he was actually lying for a prank, which I doubt it, why would you stay with someone who would manipulate you and play with your feelings like that? How could you possibly trust him again? OP says, "That's exactly what I told him. Why would he put so much effort into it if it isn't true?" OP, it sounds like you have no support in your town or from your family. Quietly look for a job somewhere else, then disappear without telling anyone where you went. Start fresh without all the judgment. She says, "That'll be kind of difficult considering I go to school here. My town isn't a problem. I'm more upset that people outside my circle already know about it. I'll definitely be getting out of here after I graduate though." Phew, man, what a wild update, haha. Do you know the girl he cheated with? I'm like, this is all verifiable very easily. Regardless, I'd stick to your guns like everyone else is saying. She replies, "I considered looking, but I felt it was pointless, and also I really didn't want to know what she looked like. I'm a black woman in a little white town, which I love, but I feel like it would hurt if I knew he cheated on me with someone who looked nothing like me." Now for a new and final update, another 8 days later. Hello everyone. I wasn't going to post anything else regarding my situation, and the only reason I am is because quite a few of you have come into my DMs in the past week defending my brother and saying I'm a horrible person, and now you're in my comments. First thing, my brother is a loser, my ex is a loser, and my mum does not like me. I do not have to respect or tolerate any of them. I quite honestly could not care less whether that makes me a horrible person. I'd be a horrible person 100 times over before I let someone disrespect me like that. I don't know you, and you don't know me, so to make an assessment on my character based off a post leaves much to be desired from yours. Second thing, I've come to realize that anyone who defends or supports cheaters are just as bad as they are. This includes my mum, my brother, and all the incels in my DMs. I want nothing to do with any of you, so be gone. Lastly, to the people who genuinely cared about my well-being and would like to know how I'm doing, I'm great. To no one's surprise, the whole prank thing was a lie, and I actually found out who my ex cheated on me with. I know that should feel like closure, but it doesn't. I just want to move on and graduate and get the F out. Thank you for all the kind words of encouragement, and to all the older siblings who reminded me that my brother is not the norm. This will be my last post. I just want to clear things up for those who are interested. One comment says, "Yay, congratulations on graduating when you do. And then take that space that will make you feel better than anything else. Your family and ex-boyfriend will be left behind to fester in their frickin' bullcrap, and you'll be living your best life." She says, "Thank you so much. I literally can't wait." How did you find out? It's perfect timing. Soon you'll start a new chapter of your life and leave all these crappy people behind. Clean start. One of my girlfriends found her. She's a real detective, lol. "Thus he invoked the sacred words, 'It was only a prank.' But nay, it were not a prank. It was a betrayal most foul. Unto the Redditors most dear and far, know this, he who believeth in X will henceforth be known as dumb. Amen." Alrighty guys, I'm going to leave that story there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, moving on to the next. Alright, same subreddit. This one was written by user Lovely, and it's titled, "Am I the a-hole for not waking up a tourist who overslept and missed the day trip she paid for?" Hi guys, I'm 21, female, a Bulgarian tour guide who accompanies groups to Sicily. On a recent trip, one woman who was travelling alone, mid-30s, was consistently oversleeping. The first day we arrived, we had a day trip to Etna and Taormina, for which we depart at 8 am, as we do all other day tours. I make sure that all tourists are informed of the departure times on the bus the day before, and they also have my number to call in case they forget so I can remind them. They also all have printed out pamphlets with the schedule made by the travel agency that I hand out that has the time for departure on it. All of the group was on time except one woman. She was late by 10 minutes, which, okay, maybe she got caught up in something and was late. I excused it, then mentioned to the whole bus on the mic that I do not tolerate lateness beyond 15 minutes at most in cases of emergency, like a forgotten possession, and that I must always be called and informed in case someone is running late. Trip went by okay otherwise. The next day, this same tourist was late again, by 25 minutes, almost an entire half hour. I called her twice to no answer, and we were just about to leave without her when she came out running and got on the bus. She got lucky as the receptionist at the hotel asked me about a missing piece of info on the rooming list and earned her some time. I reminded everyone again that I will not be waiting anymore for late tourists in the morning, and waking up on time is their responsibility. When we came back that evening, she asked me if I could make sure to wake her up on time. I reminded her a third time that I'm not responsible for waking people up. Everyone gets a printed itinerary with departure times, and I announce everything the day before. She kept saying, No, just knock on my door if I'm not out by 8:15. And I kept repeating, I really can't do that for everyone, please set an alarm. Well, on the day we were visiting Syracuse, she didn't show up. I waited 15 minutes after the supposed departure time, called her twice to no response, then left with the bus and the rest of the group. She called me in a panic about an hour later asking where we were. I explained the situation calmly. She got angry and said that I had one job and that I cheated her out of the money she paid to go on that day trip. She missed the whole day trip and was furious the next day. Later she told the rest of the group that I abandoned her and also called my agency, leaving a bad review about me. Am I the a-hole for not personally waking up a grown woman despite warning her multiple times I wouldn't? What? No way, this is 100% her fault. And it's not as if she's jet-lagged because she just got off the plane or something. Sounds like they've been there for a few days. Opie adds a comment with clarifications. Hi again guys, some additional info compiled from questions people asked. 1. What nationality is she? The whole group is Bulgarian including me. We leave from Bulgaria and return to Bulgaria together. Time zone difference between Bulgaria and Sicily is 1 hour. 5 p.m. Sicily, 6 p.m. Bulgaria for anyone wondering. 2. Hotel wake-up calls. I'm assuming she doesn't speak the language or English to be able to ask reception for it. Still could have asked me to do it for her. I wouldn't mind if it meant she was on time. 3. Did she make it the next day? Well, the next day we were returning to Bulgaria. The transfer to the airport was in the afternoon, so thankfully no sleeping in. I'm not sure she would have slept in if it was the morning. 4. Reaction from my manager? Well, still waiting on it. I'm hoping they'll side with me. My agency is very decent about this stuff, so hopefully. 5. Why did I post this? I know you guys probably think it's very obvious I'm not the a-hole, and there was no reason to post this, but I'm new to this sphere of work, and I overthink this stuff. This was my first time having to leave a tourist behind, and I was anxious about how it would be received by others. Maybe it seems obvious to others, but to me I was afraid I'd done the wrong thing, and made a bad impression on the group. Posting this also resulted in people giving me advice, which will help me improve in the future. 6. Will she get a refund? Hopefully, and 99.99% likely no. And 7. Does she have a sleep disorder or need accommodation? As far as I'm concerned, nope. If she made an agreement through the agent that signed her up for her to be accommodated, it would have been in my notes in the folder I'm given that I carry with me at all times. One comment says, this woman could have also requested a wake-up call from her hotel. I'm an avid traveller. I'd be angry to sit on the bus every morning waiting on someone who is chronically late. Time is money, and she'd be wasting mine. If she's worried about hers, she needs to set an alarm. If she complained to other guests, I guarantee you they weren't feeling bad for her, not the a-hole. And an update the next day. I talked to my manager today. I was nervous at first because I was already tired of this whole shenanigans and didn't want to spend ages defending myself, so I went to him first and explained the situation before he approached me. He told me, word for word, Hun, I deleted that BS from my email as soon as I read it, lol. An icon. They'll remove the bad review. Hallelujah. Logic prevails. Anyway guys, that's it for that story. Any similar travel stories? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, that's it from me today. Hope you enjoyed those ones. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Cheers.